welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Now, this is for all those students who are doing A-level Spanish. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over all the grammatical structures that you need to know. Grammar-wise, what do you need to know walking into A-level? Are you ready? Right, it looks quite scary if you look at the board and think, oh my gosh, that's just so much we need to know. Bear in mind, if you have done GCSE Spanish, you have a good understanding of what is expected, what you should know at GCSE. So, you're going on to A-level, which is a more advanced course, so they expect you to know everything that you should know at GCSE. So all the basics at GCSE, at A-level, you should have those mastered. But between me and you, it's not always the case. We still struggle. Okay, we can manage to get a really good mark at GCSE and still not be the best at grammar. That was my case when I studied, way back when. And it's very common. We struggle with grammar and it's okay. That's why I'm here, to help you and to make sure that you're ticking the boxes and you know everything you need to know. Okay, so I would advise you go and look at the AQA website or Edexcel, whichever you want, and just look what are the points that you need to cover or you need to know for A-level. I'm going to go over them, but in case I forget something, well, I'm going to give you that as homework. Okay, everything you need, you've seen it, GCSE Spanish, you will need to revise over the summer if you're then going to do A-level Spanish next year, or AS level Spanish next year. Okay, the grammatical structures, the tenses that you need to cover. Obviously the present, you know, the present simple, the present continuous. So for example, hablo is the present simple. Estoy hablando, the present continuous. You need to have the present down and in your head. And if you're unsure about any of these, take the time and go and look them over. No one says you have to know them all today. It's just ticking the box and making sure that if you're a little bit weak or unsure about any points, well, you can go back and study those points, okay? The preterite, el preterito, okay? So it's the past simple. Dije, dijo, all of that. Ayer bailé. So the past simple, making sure you know that off the top of your head. Okay, this is a tense that you really need to see, the past simple. The imperfect tense is the tense you use to talk about things that perhaps you used to do in the past but not anymore. For example, cuando era pequeña vivía en Madrid. So the verbs normally finish in ia, vivía, or aba, if it's AR, aba, bailaba, cantaba. This one, we need to make sure we get that down as well. The conditionals, have a little look at your conditionals, okay? Comería, bailaría, all of those, okay? The perfect tense, we need to make sure we know that as well. Remember, the perfect goes with have. He comido, he bailado, he cantado. That sort of perfect tense. The future perfect, which is, or whenever you see perfect, think of the verb haber, to have, just like in English, haber. Haber plus the past participle. So the future would be, habré cantado, habrás dicho. Okay, this sort of structure. The conditional perfect, habría bailado, habrías cantado, habrías vivido. That one. And then the pre-perfect or the past perfect, which again is with the verb haber. Just that you would put it in the past. So, había dicho, habías dicho, había bailado, and so on. Okay? If the terms confuse you, just go back and have a little study. There's no big deal. Just do it. Just organize yourself so you get the terms down, and when someone says, oh, the pluperfect, you're not like, what's that? Okay, they're just terms. And in the end, when in real life, when you're talking, you're not thinking, oh, what should I apply here? Because it'll come natural to you, because you practice makes perfect. With languages, that's just it. You just have to apply that. Once you learn to speak and it becomes natural, this is just to pass the exam. Okay? But you also need how to make grammatically correct sentences. Okay? Right. And the passive is a massive one. I don't think I've done a video on the passive, so that's on my list to do. Let me know, are you comfortable with the passive, el pasivo in Spanish? Let me know, and we will have a little look if you're not quite sure how to use it and when. Okay? Right, so these are the structures you need, and of course, where are you going? Where are you going in life if you don't have a great big list of irregular verbs in Spanish? You know, the ser, the estar, the hacer, all of this. You need to make sure you have a wide variety of irregular verbs learned. Okay? It's a must. You cannot get away from that. Your regular verbs, it's just a must. Because if you learn all the conjugations in the world, if you don't know your irregulars, your life is going to be harder, okay? And I don't want that. So get your irregular down and spend time, okay? It's a logical process. The more time you spend on this, the better you will become tomorrow, the more confident you will become, and that's what we're aiming for, okay? Right, so your regular verbs, important. Okay, obviously the subjunctive is a massive one for us. We need to make sure that we're covering the subjunctive and we're practicing it, because we struggle with this, and I've said it time and time again, that we need to spend extra time and just care for the subjunctive. And of course, idioms. Idioms make us sound a bit more natural and Spanish-like. There's something very Spanish about your idioms. Just as in English, we need to apply them. So take your time, make sure that your idioms are in there, because it's expected of you at this level, okay? Okay, other things that you would have seen at GCSE that you need, obviously, the following year when you're doing a more difficult level. Your plurals. It's year 7 stuff. We teach you this in year 7. So your plurals in feminine and in masculine. So, and obviously if you're going to do plural, you need to know your singulars. Okay, so feminine, las películas, las mujeres, las cosas, and in masculine, los chicos, los libros, and so on. With your singular, we tend to think that, oh, singular verbs, you know, singular words end in o or a if it's feminine, but there are words that finish in n or l or whatever it is, or we need to learn those as well, okay? And look at how we make them plural, okay? Right, the next point we need to make sure that we have down are our articles. Now, you know, we have the definite articles and then we have indefinite articles. So the definite article is when you're talking about something that's specific, and you would use the word the, el or la. If I say el chico, I'm talking about the boy here, this one there, right? It's not the same as if it was indefinite and I was talking about boys in general. If I was talking about a boy is the boy in general. It's not this one here. It's not the boy here that's standing right there. Yeah, so we need to make sure we revise that as well. Our articles, definite and indefinite. Okay, adjective agreement. See, we don't have this in English, so that's something you need to make sure that you are not messing up on. So, coches rojos, okay? Gente amable, so on. So the adjective is plural. If the noun is plural, the adjective is plural. If it's singular, so is the adjective. This sort of agreement, okay? Then we're going to go down to adverbs, los adverbios. So the adverb is one of those words that complement the verb. And there are lots of different types of adverbs. You can have de modo, de lugar, de tiempo, de cantidad, and so on. Okay? So it's not just how it's been done. Okay? It can also be a reply to a question. It can be time related. Okay, so if you're not quite sure about what the adjectives are, spend some time and go over that as well. Okay, quantifiers or intensifiers, this you need to know. Okay, what are quantifiers? Talks about how much or how little. Degrees. Okay, so words like poco, a little, mucho, a lot, bastante, okay, quite, and so on. Muy, okay, we need to get those down as well. Pronouns, okay, your subjects, okay, reflexive. This is one of the things that we struggle with at GCSE, are reflexive. Actually, last week I did a video on the reflexive. Have a little look at that. Okay, how do we place the pronouns? Because we know with reflexive, the pronouns then go to the beginning of the verb, before the verb. Okay, me lavo, te lavas. All of these pronouns you need to make sure that you understand. Other words that we need to be familiar with: gerund, el gerundio. What's that? It's basically your ing. So ando, yendo. Okay, what you're doing in a specific moment. So in English we would just add an ing to the verb. In Spanish you take off the ending and you put ando or yendo. If it's ar, ando, and if it's not, yendo. Okay? So that's our gerund. When they talk about gerund, you would use it for the present continuous or the past continuous. For example, estoy hablando, I am talking. Estaba hablando, I was talking. That's your gerund, okay? And you would use that to talk about when you're using the progressive form of the tense, of the present, okay? The present or the past continuous. Right, the use of infinitives. There are lots of structures that we've equipped you with to help you in your exams. When do you use your infinitives? Think about that, okay? That you need to know. We also need to cover your negatives. Something that they do in Spanish a lot, which we do not do in English, the double negation. No quiero nada, no quiero nada, I don't want anything. Things like that. Okay, how do you make a sentence negative? Do you know? How many ways can you make it negative? Can you put ninguno, y nada, and no together? You can. Depends what you're saying, okay? Your question words, okay? How do you form questions? Do you know all the question words? I'm asking you, do you know all the question words? Do you know your donde, your cuando, your quién, your cuantos? Do you know the difference between cuanto or cuanta y cuantos? Okay? What are all your question words? Do you know what they mean? Do you know how to make a sentence? Go back, a question, go back, have a little look. What other things do we need to know, my good people? Your prepositions, okay? Prepositions is a must. Okay, where are things placed, where they're located, location. Do we know that? Conjunctions. Conjunctions are your connective words like como, or pero, which is but, si, which is if, aunque, which is although, porque, which is because. Okay, so these connecting words, you need these. These are your conjunctions. You need all of these, okay? Okay, what else do you need to do at this level? Your numbers. Numbers, you ask? Okay, I know you know how to count to 10, up to 20, or even up to 100. But do you know your ordinals? Okay, first, second, third, primero, segundo, tercero, cuarto, quinto, sexto. Do you know all of those? If you don't, have a little revision session. Because after it gets to 10, it becomes quite tricky. Okay, and even now sometimes I have to think, how do you say this one? Okay, so practice your ordinals. Okay? Your reflexive verbs, I covered it over there before. Another must. Your possessive, okay? Eso es mío, eso es tuyo. All of this, mine, yours, theirs, ours, nuestro, all of these, we need to make sure we have those down and we're confident using them, okay? Next one, fillers. There are lots of fillers that we teach you. Pues, como, lots of them, okay? Look at, there's a video, I will try to link it down there with fillers that you ought to know at any level really, but especially at A level. So, and if I forget, remind me to put it down there and I will. Or just look on the channel for fillers in Spanish, okay? There's I think 10 minutes or 15 minutes on fillers in Spanish, okay? And word order. It's different in English. Word order in English is quite different, so make sure you know how it works in English, in Spanish. With that, guys, I'm going to leave you, otherwise it's going to just go on way too long, and I don't want that. So with that, I'm going to leave you. I hope you found this helpful, and this is what you need to know grammar-wise. But I'm inviting you right now to go and check on the AQA website, because I might have forgotten something. I don't think I have, but just in case, check. Make sure you're confident and you're comfortable with these things that are on the board, and the things that you're not comfortable with, if you're not comfortable with a specific point, go away, go over it, spend time and get better at it, okay? It's doable, we can all do it, okay? I'm rooting for you. And so with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Hasta muy pronto, chicos. Cuidaros. Adiós.